What's up everybody, Shawnee Sham Anime here, and today we're going to be reviewing One Piece Chapter 988. One Piece Chapter 988 is a really exciting one actually. There's a lot of action going on. I really like this chapter. There was a lot going on, not in terms of things that move the story forward, but in terms of just things that are happening. We know there's so much going on right now, so this chapter really did a good job of kind of highlighting those different things that are going on. And honestly, it's a pretty big chapter. There's a lot going on, so let's get right into it. The chapter starts out with Kaido acknowledging that the Minks can go so long, and he actually basically says like, "Bring it on!" Like the Minks can go so long. Like I'm down. I'm ready for that. I know what you guys have in store. And then we actually get to see a good amount of the Minks go so long. Unfortunately, we don't get to see our two main guys, Dogstorm and Cat Viper. But we do get to see Shishi Leon and his group of musketeers. They go into their Sulong forms. The art on that panel was really cool. I liked seeing all three of them together. I felt like it could have been more detailed, but then again, these aren't characters that are very important to the story. I mean, they're important, but they're not like big time players, so I'm fine with not really seeing these guys go in full depth. So I'm really looking forward to Dogstorm and Cat Viper and seeing them go so long, but until then, we're just going to have to wait. But then we got to see a cool moment from Raizo. I actually like this moment when he steps up and he says, the the Minks kept me alive, and I'm going to return the favor. And he's like, I'm going to go at Jack. And then after seeing him go at Jack, after seeing him say that, we actually flash up to Shinobu being caught by King as she's trying to release Momonosuke. And this was like probably one of my favorite parts of the chapter. I think it's a lot of people's favorite parts, to be honest with you. Everybody's talking about it, are we going to get King versus Sanji? Sanji comes out of nowhere and saves Momonosuke. And something that I really liked about this was I love how King, as soon as he saw Shinobu, he sprung into action and threw her right out of there. Literally one hand toss. You see it in this panel right here. Tosses her straight away. And then he looks back and he's like, what was that? Like, what's going on with these chains? And we see Sanji coming out of nowhere. And I thought this was really exciting. I love how Oda did this. I love how... Obviously, we weren't really ready to see Sanji versus the first commander of the Beast Pirates. Like, this is Sanji commander level. Like, there's all this talk going on. But I thought it was a really good plot device. I was really excited to see how Momonosuke escaped from there. And I thought Oda did a good job of giving us something, giving us a feasible thing that basically saying that Shinobu didn't not do her job. Like, she did still try, she did still put in the effort, and she played a part too. Although it was cool to see Sanji make that move and make that happen. And as for Sanji versus King, I'm excited for it. I think Sanji needs a little bit more like respect in terms of who he's able to fight. I think maybe this could mean that we could see Zoro against Kaido a little bit. I'm hoping for that. I'd love that. I'm a big Zoro guy. I like Zoro, and I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him go toe to toe with Kaido. Maybe he doesn't kill him, but maybe he fights him, and that would be really cool. That would be really exciting. But as for a lot of those panels with Sanji versus King, I really like them, especially the first one when Sanji's still a little bit invisible. This one is just beautiful. You see the outline of Sanji and he's actually holding Momonosuke. I think that's really cool. I really like this action sequence. It was like back and forth, quick. You saw everything happening. You were able to follow it. And we really got to see Sanji like do something cool. I don't dislike Sanji. I don't prefer Sanji or Zoro. I guess you could say I like Zoro a little bit more. But I'm not going to be somebody who's upset that this happened. I think for the story it really works well. And I really liked it as far as how it was paneled and how the action went. Quickly we get to see Big Mom right after that, and she's going after Luffy. And I love this moment. I love Yamato's interaction with Luffy. Luffy's like, yo, save Momonosuke. And Yamato's like, what do you mean save Momonosuke? He's like, well, you're Odin's son. Like, yeah, save Momonosuke. Like, this is what you're trying to do. This is what we need you to do. So that was really cool. And I love seeing Yamato, like, get that. And Yamato just continues to be a great character. One of the great characters of Wano entirely, even though he's only been here for so long. So, like, I'm really excited to see what Yamato does. I think he's a great character. I think the more we get to see of him, the better these interactions are going to get. Like, I'm excited to see how he's going to be like to Momonosuke, yeah, I'm your father. I want to be Odin. I want to be just like your father. And I think that's going to be really cool. I think it's going to be funny. I don't know how it's going to work, but it's definitely going to be cool. And then as for Big Mom, I really like the panels with Big Mom attacking Luffy. I think that sovereignty attack was awesome. The shot right out of her blade, beautiful, beautiful panel. And I love Nami and Zeus. I think it's so funny how Nami, like, the cat burglar Nami came through and stole Zeus. And Zeus was like, you can't, Nami, I'll kill you. And then we get to really one of the climactic parts of the chapter is we see Zeus like, should I go with Nami? And Nami's like, make a choice, like, this is it. And out of nowhere, Frankie and Brooke run right into Big Mom's face. And yo, this was hilarious. And I was so happy this happened. I mean, like, I wasn't really expecting it to, like, do this much damage to Big Mom. And as, like, a few other people have said, I do not want Big Mom to lose her memory again. Like, that, I don't want that to happen. I really want to see, like, I want to see her stay in the fight, and I want to see things continue to be just as chaotic as they are. So I want Big Mom to stay in the fight. But just to see Frankie run her over right in the face, that's hilarious. You can't get much better than that. And I was actually surprised that it did damage to her. I didn't know that Big Mom was going to be able to be hurt by Frankie's freaking motorcycle. And I really liked how at the end Nami was just like, "Oh, big bro, like, thank you, like, you just saved my ass." Like, I wasn't really ready to know what to do. But yeah, I like this chapter a lot. It was very actiony. A lot of things happened, and that's how I think a lot of these chapters are going to go in terms of like how the story's going to move forward. And I like that it's moving forward in this kind of linear fashion where, like, not linear, but like we're going, like, things are close together and they're happening as other things are happening. And it's really exciting to see this moving on like this. It's all drawn out perfectly. The paneling in this chapter was great. Everything was very straight to the point. We got to see things happen in chronological order. And I'm very excited to see what Big Mom's going to do. Like I said recently, I really want to see Big Mom face Luffy again. I want to see more of that. I want to see their interactions, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if Luffy's going to head up to where Kaido is. And I don't know what's going to happen with everybody else in terms of Drake, Law, Zoro. I want to see those guys get into it. Those guys fight. I want to see what the Toby Roppo can do. So I definitely think that a lot can come from this chapter, and we're going to see a lot of it for a while. But first and foremost, Sanji, is he commander level? We don't know. I mean, I think he should be. I think at this point, him and Zoro should be commanders. I obviously know Luffy is not an actual Yonko of the Sea right now, but he does have that label. So these guys have to take that step and be commanders at some point, even if they're a little weaker, which they might be. But I think still right now, I think Zoro should be stronger than Sanji in terms of who they're going to fight. Maybe this sets up Zoro to fight with Kaido. Maybe we get some more action with Zoro and somebody else. Who knows? But, like, I would definitely like to see more of those two in action. Obviously, who doesn't? Let's be realistic. But I want to see where Luffy's going to go too, because I know Luffy wants to be up there and he wants to be fighting Kaido. He wants Kaido to be his main performance. Like, he wants to take him on. So we'll see how he gets there. And like I said, there's still a lot of other things going on here. Like, we're still unaware of if Orochi's actually dead. We're still unaware of if Kanjuro's actually dead. Where's Hiyori gonna show up? Is she gonna show up on Onigashima? Is she gonna meet up with Momonosuke at some point soon? There's a lot of questions that still haven't been answered, and I'm fine with how the way it's being told, and I just can't wait to see how much more these things are going to come into play and how further they're going to tie into the story, because there's a lot to tie in. And that's one of the beautiful things of Wano, is that there's so much, but it really doesn't feel like too much. At the beginning it did, but right now as it's coming together, you're like, oh, all right, this comes in and this comes in and these guys are fighting and whatnot. But we also have to see where Perospero and Marco are going to come in. I know they could definitely play a hand in what's going on with Big Mom. Maybe she does lose her memory. Maybe something like that happens and they kind of use it to their advantage. We still don't know if they're like teaming up, if they have some sort of plan figured out. So there's a lot to come into play here, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. But that's about it for this chapter. Please make sure to like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more anime and One Piece manga reviews.